Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another Breath of the Wild Master Mode Korok Seed Challenge video. Today we've got another 20 seeds to go through and collect, and this one is actually going to be a little bit of an interesting adventure given that we are encroaching upon Zora's domain, and because we are not going to actually clear out any of the divine beasts until after we've collected all 900 Korok seeds, that means that there's going to be some weather challenges as we go about collecting some of these seeds. So strap in, as this is going to be a bit of a wild ride. As we get started, check to see if you're subscribed to the channel, and if you're not, please take a moment to do so, as that subscription is free and easy. And if you found today's video helpful and or enjoyable, don't forget to leave a like and a comment. So, right off the bat, we missed our initial target here, but just up in the top of this tree, we have seed number 361, which is going to be underneath a rock nestled within the branches. This is a fairly common puzzle type that we've seen, especially within the past couple of episodes here. So we'll want to, as soon as we grab the seed from him, drop the rock back down on his head and land him some cover. Just about knocked us on the noggin on the way down, though. Seed number 362 is a arrow puzzle, and this one is a little bit interesting because it involves two acorns that are flipping back and forth across the sky. Luckily, they both come right in the exact same pattern, or you can target one area in particular and be able to hit both seeds, and you saw that we only ended up taking 3 shots there, so not bad at all. Seed number 363 is still an earshot of Cass, so that's a little bit annoying, but it's another rock nestled in the branches of a tree here. So it's similar to the first one. We grab the seed, we drop the rock, and this time the rock does not fall out of the tree or fall on top of our head, which is a nice change. Seed number 364 is a set of fairy lights running around this pond, and they're not that hard to track down. But since I have the stealth suit, I did go ahead and run around this pond for a minute to grab some snails and some bass. Now, this isn't an actual attempt of getting a Korok seed, but apparently if you are riding a deer during a blood moon, it will freak out and kick you off. So maybe don't do that. Anyway, a short distance from there, seed number 365 was atop this pine tree that you need to climb up to the top of, and that's relatively easy. It's not that difficult to climb up. You've got plenty of stamina in order to get up to the top of the tree and collect the seed from this spot as well, but that won't be said for the next seed that we need to climb up a tree to find. However, jumping out of that tree, we find ourselves over a river, and there is a balloon just kind of floating and hanging out there. So make sure that you get that one popped. It's easy and acceptable to go ahead and pop it using your stall in the air, because your stamina does refresh every time that you collect a Korok seed. Here is a brief sequence of us getting another Sheikah Tower because, well, we are needing to fill out that map to help us navigate around and find them all. But here is another rock basketball puzzle, and it was fairly simple. The guide says that you may have some more success if using Cryonis. I didn't find it necessary, as it's a pretty straightforward shot into the ring of rock spikes there. Seed number 368 is a magnesis block puzzle, and luckily we're just far enough out of the range of a thunderstorm, and it's just doing some standard rain. So we didn't have to worry about lightning interacting with the cube as we placed it into its proper spot in the puzzle itself. Moving right along, we come across seed number 369, and this one is on a ledge that we need to track the fairy lights down around, but they're not just the most evasive set of fairy lights out there, so no real concerns at the end of the day. Seed number 370 is back in the rain, and it's a magnesis ball that you have to dip into a well. And I do like these ones. They seem to be fairly rare, but maybe they're more common in other parts of the map. But they're quite intuitive and a little bit fun to work with, so that's always a positive. Seed number 371 is a rock atop a little hill, and there is a Lizalfo outpost, and all of the Lizalfos wielding bows are wielding shock arrows, so you need to be cautious as you approach this seed. And of course, where shock arrows don't mix well with water, you want to give this guy some cover before you leave. Now this is the seed that I'd mentioned of seed number 372, and typically I skip over the tree climbing sequence, but because it's raining, I wanted to showcase something really kind of cool that you can benefit from. And that is right when your stamina gets down to the end, you get an extra verticality with your jumps. And if you latch onto the top portion of the tree, you do not immediately slide off, as that is considered a roosting area, and it will also recharge your stamina. Seed number 373 is another magnesis block puzzle. This one's fairly simple. Move the magnesis block from the top of the structure on the right to the top of the structure on the left. I think it would have been a little cool if we would have been able to tuck that one up on the underside, but can't complain about the puzzles that we're given. We just need to complete them and collect the seeds from them as we do so. Seed number 374 is a rock on top of a hill, and this one wasn't difficult to collect, but it was difficult to get to given that you have to climb up some pretty sheer faces in rain. But if you cancel out of your climbing animation, you're really going to have an easier time with a lot of the inclined planes. It doesn't tend to work nearly as well if it's a vertical stretch. But chasing down these fairy lights gets us the next Korok seed. And shortly away from here, there is a little chest that you can grab that contains the Zora helm. And I wanted to grab this for two reasons. One, it increases our swimming efficiency if we need to swim extended different distances. And two, it appears that only having the helm will allow us to perform a spin attack while we're swimming. So even though we're missing the greaves and the tunic for now, we should be in a fairly good position. Seed number 376 is a simple bomb and rock collect puzzle, and we're still under cover of rain, which it's just par for the course at this point. So we'll want to provide this guy some shelter before we run off to our next objective, and he did not want to stay under that rock, did everything he could to shake it off of himself. Seed number 377 is a large magnesis boulder that needs to go into a pit in the ground, so it's a nice twist on some of my favorite puzzles within the game. And as soon as you get it over the waterfall, you can just walk it into the pit, and that's going to be as easy as that needs to be. And you can collect the fruits of your labors, or the seeds rather, and continue forward into seed 378, which is just up on the hill above here. It's still under cover of rain, so it can be a little bit difficult, and the rain will clear up if you go ahead and take out Varuda, but it's still doable, as you don't have to climb up any sheer faces here, and the flowers are not in very hard to reach places as you go about tracking them down, which certainly makes it a lot easier once you actually get to this point of tracking down this seed. Seed number 379 is another magnesis block puzzle, and this one will tend to trick you, as most of the time the block that, or the puzzle that you pull it off of, is not the one where it needs to be completed on, but this one is actually just a couple of blocks over from where it was originally located, right there, as that matches up with the pattern that's up on the wall. It's just placed at a different angle, so it can throw you a little bit for a loop. But we've got it, and that brings us to the final seed of today's video, which is another bomb and rock puzzle. So right up at the top here, there is a crevice with a bombable section that we can clear out, and then we can grab the rock that was lying and resting underneath it and collect the Korok seed from this location. And with that being said, we will drop this rock back down on top of his head, and that concludes our adventures for today's video. So if you found this episode enjoyable, please, again, feel free to hit that like button. We'll be back next Sunday with the next installment here. And tomorrow we have the debut of a world record that I did live on Twitch on Saturday. So if you want to give me a follow, my link to my Twitch channel is down in the subscription down below. And don't forget to subscribe over here, as there's a lot more consistent and daily content available for your enjoyment. But thanks again for watching, and you have yourself a great rest of your day.